Hi there, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Greetings from Spain. We are here for another webinar of EDIBON, and at this time, we'll talk about sustainable life. I'm very happy to see many of you again in this event, in this opportunity. Many other people joined us again at this opportunity. So I hope you enjoy this. This performance will take around 1 hour, maybe less. And the idea here is show you how EDIBON and its goods and services may work together along with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and in order to work together. And this, we all together somehow make join our efforts and make something different for this. Okay, the idea is always try to change by improving something. Good. Okay, my name is Francisco Baldo, and I'm responsible for market development of Portuguese-speaking countries. And as I said before, we are going to talk about sustainable life in general and how the sub-areas of the technical sub-areas of EDIBON can collaborate with this. As always, our time is short, so I need to be quick, sharp, and everything that I always say about this, okay? I'm working with two screens, and sometimes you will see that I'm changing my eyes a little bit for that in order to change the slide and make you follow this up with me, okay? Before I say anything else, please check this chat and find out or find our official email and landline for any inquiry you may have. edibon@edibon.com is our direct or general electronic email, and our direct landline is +34, which is the international code for Spain, 91-619-9363. Again, +34 91-619-9363. Okay, good. This is going to be our agenda for today. We will basically talk about 5 topics: EDIBON and its brief history, business lines of EDIBON, of course. Number 3, SCADA technology. 4, SCADA expansions, and the last one, and maybe in this case the most important, how EDIBON and its sustainable areas, in this case environment, electronics, and energy, can collaborate with your expectations, as well as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 11, which promotes sustainable cities and communities. This is the idea, to promote sustainable cities and communities. Okay, at the end of this presentation, we will answer the main questions that can be asked or made through our chat. But in case yours has not been answered for any reason, to the lack, especially because the lack of time, please send us and we'll respond that as soon as possible, okay? We have been receiving many, even today, we have performed a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 or more, in webinar, and we still have some questions. We are still receiving, or we've still been receiving some questions about that latest webinar, okay? I'm not going to change each slide I'm talking about, but from page 3 to 7, we'll talk about the brief history about EDIBON, okay? I'm not going to change any slide like that. I'll give you an overview about this. No worries that you are going to receive either or both this presentation here you are seeing, and also this video that is being recorded in this moment. All right, so let's go to the brief history about EDIBON, or of EDIBON. EDIBON is a family business with 100% Spanish capital, located in Madrid, Spain. We design and manufacture teaching and research equipment, in addition to some or specific goods and services. We'll talk about this later. One of the main goals of this company is offering means and alternatives to strengthen and develop the appropriate technical training. This is very, very important. Technical training at all levels required by the industry these days. So the industry requires a very high technical preparation or training, and you are able to provide the means for that. Our company was born over 40 years ago due to a huge gap in technical education identified by the company's founder, Mr. Elias Bonilla. Unfortunately, this technical education gap between market and institutions or technical institutions will always exist as the industry reacts and adapts itself much faster than technical centers. This is quite understandable. We are fully in line with market demands. We offer what the industry needs and requires. Also, topic very or comment very, very important. We exported to more than 150 countries, and in terms of SCADA computer controlled units, we are a reference player in the world. EDIBON is 100% autonomous and independent company. We design and manufacture our own units, expansions, softwares, integrated systems, etc. Our technical solutions range from A to Z. I consider this one special quality of this company. By being 100% autonomous and independent, we are able to change fastly or rapidly according to the end user requirements. Both the installation of the equipment and the training of the staff at the end customer are carried out by EDIBON engineers or by trained engineers, technical prepared engineers from our local partners. We have many engineers from several areas hired by EDIBON itself, and more than 90% of our workforce has technical background. From the warranty perspective, we offer 5-year factory warranty for our goods, all our goods, and 15-year after-sales service for any spare part replacement. Good. This is a brief history about EDIBON. We basically have spoken about all these topics here, and now we go to business lines. That will be only a single sheet, but there is much information in only this single page, okay? Business lines, our prestige customers, in the word some, just some of them, and our quality certificates, of course. We diversify our business into 9 lines, but today we'll only talk about some of them. Day-to-day, which for us is the most important, they are small or medium businesses for which money is always available, regardless the source of funds, okay? This is when the end customer has already some funds or resources to spend in acquisition, or is trying to get some money for that, for acquiring new equipment or units, okay? Projects, they are medium and large businesses for which money is always available too. But in this case, funds are usually offered by international organisms or organizations like the World Bank, European Union, UNESCO, UNIDO, African Development Bank, in addition to many others. These are projects, big ones financed by these international organizations. TKP projects. They are also medium and large turnkey businesses financed mostly by a Spanish source of fundings, usually referred to an acquisition of complete SCADA laboratories And in this kind of project, the end customer does not spend a cent. Once the government of that country or the country of the end customer is the one who pays the bill for the project, of course. Soft financing conditions for public technical institutions are highly interesting and favorable. A turnkey project, in its essence, is a complete package of goods and services delivered by the seller, in this case, EDIBON. All right? ECL, we have been talking about this a lot these days because of the intention or the idea of having some distance technical learning or technical distance learning. So this has been or has become one of the most important requests made by our customers. All right, teaching or research units can be operated from distance, from anywhere at any time, by only using a device connected to internet. ECL is a platform. All right, it's not a device, it's not an equipment, it's not anything else. It's a platform that allows managing everything that's connected to that. This is a very interesting option for a wide and massive technical education, as the ECL Master Center can be connected to other 100 centers more. Okay, very important, this one. What else you have about this? Of course, acquisitions of up to 100 million can be handled by EDIBON, and above that, other sources of financing can be used, such as TKP, for instance, just I said before, turnkey projects for financing our technical distance learning. Pilot plants, this is another one. Pilot plants and custom-made units. Processing pilot plants allow training, research, and small production. I consider this kind of equipment mini factories. They can be sponsored by international organizations respecting the due criteria, of course. We also have enough expertise to develop any custom-made equipment in any technical area. If you are interested in this, just send us your requirements. All right, just some this is our just some comments about our business lines. All right, let's go to some of our prestige customers and partners, which one of them is, of course, Harvard University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also Charles Darwin University in Australia, and few others more, or some others more. We also have many international quality certifications to meet any market requirement. Okay, good. Many information, or much information, just in a single page. On page 9, which is the next one, I'm going to give you a brief about engineering areas we work on. Our product range is around 4,000 different teaching and research units, being 1,000 of them with SCADA. If you consider our expansions, this range goes up to more than 16 different thousand units as it becomes another unit. Let's just leave this for another opportunity, which are available in 14 areas as follows. These are the 14 technical areas of EDIBON. The first one is physics, second one electronics, then communications, electricity, energy is number 5, mechatronics and computer mechatronics, mechanics, number 8 is fluid mechanics, thermodynamics and thermotechnics, process control, number 11, chemical engineering, number 12, food and water technology, number 13, environment, and the last one, biomedical engineering, which we have performed our latest webinar 3-4 weeks ago. It was a very good one. All right, SCADA technology. Let's try to do this from page 10 to 16. We will see all of this very detailed as you are going to receive this information, but I'm not going to follow this just like the slides. I'm going to give you an overview about this, and when you got this presentation, or when you get this presentation and this video, you can make some understand a bit more about all this stuff. Okay, good. Let's do this. The page here is number 10, if I'm not wrong. So let's move forward on EDIBON SCADA technology. Please pay a careful attention on this and try to understand the idea. You don't need to follow this up completely. The important thing is that you have an idea about what's being said. This is quite not complex, but it takes a little time, a little chat time to understand this in more details. Okay, all EDIBON units are specially designed for the theoretical and practical studies. All units designed, manufactured, and quality control in-house. This means they are all of these are made in EDIBON facilities, simulate industrial processes on a laboratory scale. They allow students learning the main or complete processes as well as the variables that take part of them, the process. Many of these are computer-controlled units and feature SCADA system. Okay, to understand the real potential of a computer-controlled SCADA unit, we should know a little more about EDIBON SCADA technology. SCADA is an industrial concept, which means supervision or supervisory control and data acquisition of industrial processes. Every automated factory uses SCADA plus PLC in its industrial processes. More than 30 years ago, EDIBON brought the application of this concept to its goods or products. And also, when you have some SCADA computer control units, I will talk about this in expansions, but just for knowledge, using a SCADA net, which is a local net SCADA computer control units can be shared with up to 30 students simultaneously. This means 30 different students can operate a unit at the same time, if the process allows, of course. A SCADA unit, I call this a set of elements that interchanges inputs and outputs of signals. They are, number one, the unit itself, which you know by the equipment. Sensor and actuators is the number 2 in the unit, of course. Number 3, control interface, very important one. The number 4, I consider the 42 SCADA software package. The brain and the heart of these elements. The control interface is the brain, and the 42 SCADA software is the heart, or the opposite, doesn't really matter. And number 5 is data acquisition board. Okay, let's go through each one, just a simple and brief explanation about each one. Sensor and actuators. Sensors and actuators, according to the input sent by the user, the unit transmits back signals that will be interpreted, translated, and processed by the control interface. Between the computer and the equipment, we have the interface box that manage and control everything. I say manage because it really manages everything. Control interface converts the signal sent by the sensors and actuators into precise information, free of interference, in real time to the SCADA software. All right, so it manages every single information that is interchanged among the equipment or sensor and actuators and the computer operated by the end user. Data acquisition board. One of the fastest of the market from National Instruments. It manages and records 200 kilosamples per second. In other words, this means 200,000 information being exchanged or interchanged per second. All right, all of this is recorded and can be not rescued, but seen later or whenever you want. SCADA software. I draw your attention for this. Through the computer, it makes the real interaction among equipment, professor, and student. It graphically provides all the information processed by the control interface, always precise and in real time. This package is composed by 42 different softwares distributed into 4 groups as follows. Supervisory is the first one, control the second, data acquisition and data management is the third, and the last, and supervisory, control, data acquisition and data management. Sorry about that. Okay, these are the 4: supervisory, control, data acquisition and data management. It was my mistake. Sorry about that. Just for information, a lot of them can be, all of them actually can be supplied in any language. So if you are in a country that your language is only spoken in this country, you can also order this 42 package of software in that language if you want. EDIBON can do that in-house for you. All right. Okay, SCADA also has open control. This is we are going to see this here, but anyway, I'm already anticipating this. Many details you can get from the presentation. Again, do not worry about that, okay? Open control is the ability to adjust or change parameters or conditions involved in the experiment at any time during the entire process simulation. Multi-control means that the user has control over multiple parameters available and can view the information from all sensors simultaneously. All right, you can manage all of this at the same time by using this resource of multi-control. The system also operates in real-time control. In other words, the computer receives information from the unit extremely quickly, which results in instantaneous responses. Okay, all this interchange of information is made in matters of seconds in real time. Okay, there is no delay on this interchange of information. Good. From page 17 to 27, I'm going to talk about expansions, but I will not go through this because you have to understand the concept of SCADA first, and then what a expansion is. I humbly call them accessories. This is accessories that work along the main unit you are acquiring. Okay, you don't need to worry about that because everything is very detailed in this presentation you are going to receive. Okay, no worries then. So all of this I'm going to show you here and talk about in general way from page 17 to 27, which is the last one you are seeing here in the presentation. All right, so no worries, let's go there. I will keep this on page 17, and then we go directly after this to the SDG of today. Good. Number 17. Again, no worries about the concept or about the concept, no, about the details, as it's very described along this presentation. Okay, just pay attention on the general overview about what an expansion is. The more the use of expansions with SCADA units, the closer to the real industry will be the experiments of the process simulations. Okay, so the more the use of expansions, the more is the process simulation to the real industry. Expansions improve and boost the purpose of the equipment, which is simulating industrial processes. Our 12 SCADA expansions are divided into 4 groups. The first one is industrial, then pedagogical, multi-post, and advanced research. Just a brief about each one. Industrial expansion simulate real industrial processes. They are directly related to the 4.0 industry and the industrial Internet of Things. So if in your university, in your technical center, you work somehow related to 4.0 industry or the IIoT, it's very important you know more about industrial expansions. Pedagogical expansions are didactic software for class management and theoretical technical training according to the process to be studied. Always and all according to the process to be studied. This is the reason why in our quotation sometimes, if that's not clear, we always ask to the customer or to the representative, what do you intend to study? What process you intend to study? Then we can understand a bit more and make the quotation according to what expect the end customer. Also in pedagogical expansions, real-time control by the teacher of what's being understood by the students, or in other words, the teacher can quickly, instantaneously, after applying a test or giving them any practical exercise, by using this software, the teacher can understand if they are acquiring knowledge, if they are understanding what is being explained. Okay? Besides that, the software content is editable. This means the professor, there is a list of lots of practical exercises that the teacher can use. But anyway, if he intends to change that, make that editable, or add any new information, he or she can do that. The third one is multi-post expansions. These are systems, local nets, accessories, anything, any kind of device, local net, accessory that can somehow interconnect students and equipment. Using these expansions, all units and accessories, including other SCADA expansions, can be shared with several students at the same time. Okay? The idea of a multi-post expansion is that our EDIBON learning fits this kind of concept of multi-post expansions. Okay? Last one, advanced research expansion. If you have joined this opportunity or this webinar, and you are a researcher, please take a look on this. I draw your attention to this kind of expansion, advanced research. Please understand a bit more about this, as it allows this kind of expansions allow the SCADA software to be open for full control of the algorithms available. This means maximum performance of the technical potential of the equipment. By using this, you can open the software and work in the maximum range of the parameters or the algorithm. All right, very important. Okay, this was just a little introduction about EDIBON extensions. You really need to go through this presentation, and for any inquiry, request, questions, just email us, and I will be more than happy, or my colleagues will be more than happy to answer this, because the idea is making you understand what you have available to use. Okay, on page 28, let's go to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, what that is. Let's give you just a little introduction about this, because our purpose is show you the range of equipments we have available in these areas, sustainable development areas, and how they can help you in this, how they meet the requirements of this SDG. Actually, it's the number 11. Good, here it is. There is no better way to explain the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or simply SDGs, as a collection of interlinked global goals, 17 in total, to be more precise. And they are designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. This is a concept from the United Nations, all right? The SDGs were set in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030. So we have around 90 years to work on this to make something different. EDIBON intends to offer the means for that. So if you are somehow connected to these SDGs, we really need to interchange some information in order or you be able to evaluate what we have available to sell. All right, understand the concept, make your evaluations, and let's see what happens. This is the 5th of the 6 webinars that EDIBON will be performing along this year related to United Nations SDGs, but focusing especially on how our teaching and research equipment may perfectly fit most market technical demands for this. A few months or weeks back, we spoke about energy, food and water technologies, environment. The last one was biomedical engineering, as I told you before. This one is for sustainable cities and communities. We especially focus on sustainability. This is the word for we will try to emphasize here today. All right, just for information, 80 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are technical, so nearly 50% of them are technical. This means somehow equipment acquisition or purchasing is involved in this process. Okay, good. United Nations 11 Sustainable Cities and Communities is the one, the number 11. Okay. This goal intends make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. As I said before, by the year 2030. For achieving this, it's essential and adequate general infrastructure. And much before that, a proper training according to this demanding market. If they intended to reach something by 2030, this is very good, and this is the expectation. But firstly, we need to have a proper training in order to make the students very high qualified for this demanding market. And how can exactly EDIBON collaborate with UNESCO, UNIDO, or your institution, for example? Well, it's very clear. There is a need for skilled people. According to UNESCO and UNIDO, demands for technical and vocational education and training, TVET, and also for 30 or the tertiary degree or third degree are immediate, and EDIBON is the best solution and option for sustainable development. Industrialization is another point. In developing countries is a key point. In every case, it always requires a high level of technical training, and due to our large experience and expertise, EDIBON is very able to provide that. The higher is the technical training, the more is the using of SCADA expansions with PLC. As I said before, the more the use of SCADA expansions, the more you are for the real industry simulations. Also, industry requires equipment combined with philosophy. We offer several solutions, new technology, actually, not technical, new technology, SCADA software, integrated system, SCADA expansions, etc. And in addition to this, for the quick and constant scientific and technology advances, the market will certainly demand a higher standard level of professional. This is clear for everyone. Of course, there is some obstacle. We need to face them and jump this and work accordingly to the demands. Try to reduce this gap of what is being taught and what the market or the industry really requires. That's when EDIBON plays its role by providing advanced and modern means for a proper technical training. Okay, good. And we are basically, I'm going to show you basically three different sub-areas of electronics, energy, and environment, which are easily identified. We'll see this in our website as number 2, number 5, and number 14, respectively. Okay, on page 29 and 30, let's see what is here. Just some introduction about the sustainable areas. As I said, environment, electronics, and energy. We'll see this, especially the sub areas, wastewater treatment, sorry about that, automotive, electronics, and renewable energies. Very, very important area or sub area. Everyone in this moment talks about environment and renewable energies. Everyone. It's amazing the quantity of inquiry requests that EDIBON receives daily by intending to get some more information about what we have available to offer. Okay, so this is 3 ones: environment, electronics, and energy. Just some introduction and about this, and then we go to the website. All right. In environment, this is important by giving special emphasis on recycling and wastewater treatment, which are the main sources of urban or urban waste generation. It's very, very important, this concept of recycling and wastewater treatment and environment concept. In electronics, by facilitating urban mobility with efficient and non-polluting vehicles. Okay? In energy, renewable energy, to be more precise in this case, by reducing the emissions of pollution gases and the CO2 footprint due to the use of fossil fuels in heating and generation of domestic hot water, which is known by the acronym DHW, okay, domestic hot water. The three suggested EDIBON sustainable sub-areas are divided as follows, as I said before: wastewater treatment, automotive electronics, renewable energy, and maybe these sub-areas can be, or may then again be subdivided into more specific ones. All right? Okay. Let's go to our website. I'd like to show you some information about this directly in our website. Just a moment, let me share this screen so we can go to the area 13.3 in our website. Many of you already know. If you don't, please take a look on this. It's very clear. You can easily find our areas and sub-areas here. This is a 113.3 we are going to talk about. Just actually, what I'm going to show you is how to reach this. If you go to wastewater treatment, which refers to all the operations whose purpose is the removal of certain substances from water. The operation can be physical, chemical, or biological. Also, water treatment focuses on human consumption processes that occur before and after its use. Okay, good. Let's go to that. Just some equipment. You can easily see some of them in our presentation, but just some units. Actually, I have just mentioned that or showed two of them, but you can find many here. The idea is you go smoothly on our website and take a look, especially if you are connected to wastewater treatment or the environment area. You go through this easily, go to the catalogs. I'm going to show you some. I always like to show some of our catalogs. There are many equipments available here for wastewater treatment, okay? And then check a look on this. Ask us for some more information. I can send you leaflets showing what are the most important units of these sub areas, and then you can have some idea about what we have to offer. Okay, but anyway, you can easily, when you have some time, go through the website and simply choose an environment area, the sub area 13.3 wastewater treatment, and go smoothly through this. Okay, let me show you a catalog for one of our equipment, which is this aerobic digester here. You can easily find the catalog here, but also tender specifications. If you intend to acquire this equipment, if you intend to tender this an equipment with this characteristics, with this requirement, just download tender specifications. They are ready to be published, and you can easily make the requirements available for everyone. Okay, Let's go to catalog. I'm not going to download that because it's a Word document. And what I really intended to show you here is the content of one of our catalogs. For example, in this case, for this aerobic digester. All right, this is a SCADA computer control unit. You can easily see here inside the ready square, the interface box, and also the manual gives you all the information you need. All right, it talks about the key features of SCADA in the first page. Okay, a little introduction about the area or the sub area, the general description of the unit here, the process, and many of them, the process diagram and the unit elements allocation, so you can understand a little bit more the process should be studied, the behavior of the unit. Also, it has complete technical specifications, many things and much information in the 15-page catalog. Okay, many information here you can easily get info from. Okay, it talks about the data acquisition board here that goes into the CPU. Many information. Also, you can find exercises and practical possibilities to be done with the main items, okay, with the unit itself. If you acquire more or some or any accessory for this expansion for this, you can easily upgrade the exercises and practical possibilities. All right, some information about the unit. It gives you so. This is the face of a software SCADA. That's exactly what you're going to see in your computer screen. Many information about this. This is what impresses me at most. It's not the equipment. I need to be honest to you. What really impresses me is the software SCADA, and it is what I had contact with. So I'm going to operate the unit by using this screen. Okay. So you can change parameters, you can edit algorithms, you can perform studies, you can do whatever the unit allows you to do or allows you doing. All right, some more results obtained from the unit. This is more not photos, but information about the SCADA software. All right, available to you. All of this you can get directly from the 42 software, SCADA software. All right, just the idea was give you some information about the catalog and what kind of information you can find here. This is our expansion ECAI. I told you the second one, the pedagogical one, you can have for class management and understanding if the students are acquiring any knowledge by the moment of they are performing the tests or the practical exercises or exams and things like that. Okay, so complete information in this kind of catalog. All right. This is just one catalog of one equipment of wastewater treatment. I also would like to go to 2.5 automotive electronics. Okay, here in electronics, of course, in the sub area 2.5, you can have much information about automotive electronics. And here, many different units for specific process simulations. So you can easily go to each one by using the same philosophy, go into the catalog, understand each one a little bit. You can have for this one, this is usually for technical and vocational education, this automotive auxiliary components unit. By using this, the AV/AC, you can use this for vocational or professional training. Okay, this is we sell this a lot by this kind of end of purpose. So that's it in the automotive electronics area. You can, please go through this. It's simply impossible go through each one, but I encourage you to go to the most important ones or the ones that interest you, so you can have some more information about automotive electronic units, okay, by understanding a little more about engines or hybrid engines and simulate and what kind of equipment is associated to that, and have this information for or this equipment actually in your technical center. Okay, the sub area is in electronics is 2.5 automotive electronics. All right, we have the last one is renewable energies, which is a sub area 5.3 of energy. We have, if I'm not wrong, the second webinar this year for SDGs. I may be wrong, but we had renewable energies exclusive for renewable energy, a webinar exclusively for renewable energy. So we spent some time talking about the renewable energy sub areas, which this is one of them, which is subdivided. Let's see this 5.3. It's here, but it's also subdivided again here in many sub branches or sub areas. It's of course impossible to talk about all of them here. This is the reason why we perform an exclusive webinar about renewable energies. All of this you are seeing here is related to renewable energies. Very important these days. Everyone is talking about this. Everyone is involved in technical center, is somehow involved in this, especially in Africa. In this moment, there is a very high demand for high qualified professionals in the renewable energies field, for example. Okay, let's go to the sub area itself and see what can we find here. The idea is show you how to get there, right? And then you can easily go through this. And let's go to the first one, because otherwise this is the reason why they are subdivided. Let's just not smart grids, not this one. Let's see another one. 5.3, sorry about that. Just a moment. Solar thermal energy, just some equipments regarding solar thermal energy, okay, which is part of the renewable energy sub area 5.3. This is some of them you can use in your technical center. Understand them a little bit. Computer controlled thermal solar unit, thermal solar energy unit. All right. You have many options here, different equipment for different uses. So this is the reason why I encourage you go to the catalog, understand the practical exercises on this, what the equipment may offer you, so you can decide which one is suitable for, or which one fit the the requirements you have been seeking for, you have been looking for. Okay, we have some complete units, some other are mini, like this one, thermal solar energy based units. We have some more EEST, more complete here, a computer SCADA, computer controlled one. So you can choose among them which one is more suitable for you. All right, let's take a look on this. This is what I intended to show you. Of course, there is more information, but unfortunately, we are running out of time. The idea was basically giving you an overview about this, what you can find in our website, how you can go through this. Just draw, I'd like to draw your attention for the website because it's very rich of information. You can also see the business line, the technology itself, resources, some information about us. Also, you have here you can be connected to our social media here. Connect yourself to our social media. Sometimes just in a paragraph in the Facebook, I also get impressed by the publications there, by the posts there, because they give you just in a few words a very good hints for them. So it's very nice, and this kind of information we only find in Facebook. So connect to Facebook. We are implementing in this moment our business WhatsApp. Then, and maybe in a couple of months, it will. The idea is making this a massive tool for sharing any information about EDIBON. So this, let me connect my camera again. Sorry about that. Let's see this. Okay, really sorry about that. I was. We are back. We are back again. So the idea is this: we are going to implement this business WhatsApp. The idea is interchanging massive information about the EDIBON in this massive kind of tool by making this reaching you, this kind of information reaching you very quickly in a fast way, and then we interchange that information according to your interest. Okay. Let's go to our chat and see what kind of question we have here. Just a moment. I have closed my camera. Let's see this. Okay, there is a question here about what kind of amount EDIBON can get for financing equipments, for example. It depends on the design of the project. A very, very important, and it's kind of information serves for you all. It's very important when you go to a bank, ask for money, the bank will of course ask you what's the money for. Otherwise, they simply don't give you the money. You need to have a project for that. You need to convince them that you are able, that the project will work and you are afford to pay that. So the answering this question, what kind of money, of what kind of funds EDIBON can get for you, it depends on the project. The first thing I ask you all is send us your requirements. What kind of equipment you intend to acquire? What are the technical expectations for that? Then we will provide you either a quotation or a technical design, and a proper one that from the technical perspective, there is no questioning on this by the financing institution. This is the idea, okay? So the first thing we need to think about a very good technical project, an economic project, and we are able to provide you that. Then we go to the financial conditions itself. All right, let's first have a very good project, and then we work on the funding options we have available in this moment, okay, or in that moment, for example. Okay, good. Can I visit EDIBON factory? This is another question. You all are more than welcome to come and visit us. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we have postponed our moving to the new facility. Many of you already know, maybe few of you don't. But anyway, EDIBON is moving to a new facility, and I expect that to happen until the end of this year, to the new facility, which from the self-sustainable perspective, it's going to be one of the most advanced and modern factories in Europe. So I do encourage you to come and visit us. The borders, the airports is starting reopening again. Thanks God. So we have been receiving recently some end customers here in our facility this month. For example, in July, we've received some from abroad, of course, and depending on the country you are, you can come now. For others, for example, I am originally from Brazil, and then for Brazil the situation is quite complicated because they are restraining the ones who do not live in Spain, for example, for reaching or entering and in a Spanish territory, for example. But for some other countries that has the pandemic more controlled, they have opened all the borders. And in the end, my message is, you are more than welcome and come. We can have this conversation face to face. I can show you some more information in person about everything, about the EDIBON potential. And that's it. That's the idea. We can interchange face to face, okay? Which is much more not improve. It's much more easy to handle. In the end, okay? You can get much more by coming than having this kind of events through internet, for example. All right, no worries then. You are more than welcome on that. Sorry about that, my phone was ringing. I just drop it. And that's the idea, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you all again for joining this webinar. Many new people have connected today, and I really thank you for that. The idea here is sharing you some new information. We always review in our webinar some technological concept, the concept of SCADA, what EDIBON exactly does. The idea is given to the new one some introduction, because this information sometimes is concentrated in our website and they do not exactly know that. So the idea is share this and give the first step in order to understand the demands, the requirements, interchange information, provide you some quotations, and in the end, that you are make or do something in order to make that you have, or you are able to acquire the equipment and have this amazing technology in your facilities. All right, it's I have run out of time. Again, thank you all for joining this event, and I see you next time in August. In the last week of August, we are going to perform another, or our last webinar about the SDG. I'm going to give you more details about that. Please connect to our social media, EDIBON, that will be advertised there. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again. I see you next time. And for any inquiry or request, just send us an email through edibon@edibon.com. Okay? See you next time. Have a very good day. Cheers.